there this afternoon, and we'll keep you up to date throughout the day, and we'll head back for the commencement of the big match at Noble Park right after this.
EFL TV is back and better than ever. Head to efl.org.au every Thursday morning to check out the new episode of EFL TV. EFL TV features weekly interviews with players and special guests, and the EFL Media Team always discuss all the big issues in the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Player of the Week. EFL TV, live and local for your footy every Thursday morning at efl.org.au.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a race tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Yes, the big boys of Division 1 going head-to-head right here on EFL Gameday. Noble Park and Vermont, two of the big clubs in Division 1. We're looking forward to bringing you this one right here on EFL Gameday. I'm Ben Waterworth. I'll be your host throughout the afternoon. We've got a big team assembled out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval, up here in the commentary box, but also on the boundary. We'll cross down to Riley and Billy very shortly to get a bit of a ground report, but from all looks up here, it's a little on the picturesque side of things. Hopefully the weather does hold off and Mother Nature doesn't have a say in what happens today. Let's welcome our stats man for today. He'll be taking all the stats thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, choose tap. Will Taylor. Hello, Wilbur.
A very special good afternoon to you, Benny. Looking forward to this game between Noble Park and Vermont, and be interested to see how these two teams really play after coming off very close losses on the last weekend.
Yep, two very close losses. Yeah, well, not Noble Park, but Noble Park in round 2 certainly had a close loss, and Vermont had a close win indeed. Let's welcome our special comments man today. Now, when you rock up to a club and you call the president beforehand asking, is there a lunch on, just expecting an invite, you got no idea what you're dealing with, but in the end, that's what Peter Baird's done. He called up Dave Allen, president of the Noble Park Football Club today, and asked for an invite for lunch. He got an invite, and apparently he got a few words in there as well, Peter.
Yeah, fantastic hospitality always out here at Noble Park. Speaking at the President's Lunch.
And he spoke at the President's Lunch.
Just talking a little bit about what's going on around the Eastern Football League in Division 1 and a little bit of a preview on today's games. And yeah, fantastic. Always love coming out here and really looking forward to this clash today. The 33rd time these two clubs met, 16 all. So we're going to break the deadlock today.
Yep, it'll be a fantastic contest, no doubt about that one. And we heard from Braden Ingram during the Freight Partners pre-match. Braden, looks like hopefully the weather holds up for us today.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's just a couple of clouds about, but I remember it did rain in the final term last year when we were here, which made things interesting.
It did. Well, we do have a contingency plan if it does start to rain. We'll just move back here on the balcony, but we always love calling from up here in the balcony. Full time in the reserves, as you would have just heard in our beautiful effects mic, thanks to the Loft Productions. Noble Park 14-10-94, comfortably defeating Vermont 5-16-46. You've got to remember as well, Vermont undefeated in the reserves last year as well, and went on to win the premiership in the Division 1 reserves competition. So well done to the Bulls on this occasion, keeping Vermont down and out. Let's welcome the broadcast manager of the EFL. He's looking forward to calling this one. Monitor is in sight, and he's got one of the best positions in the ground and in the league to call this one from. It's going to be a beauty, BWS.
Good afternoon to you, Ben Waterworth, and all our Radio Eastern listeners. It's going to be a cracker day. We love coming out to Noble Park. We love being up here on this balcony. The ground's always a picturesque, isn't it, as well? And in season 2013, they've just really looks like it's improved. It's a good crowd out here. It's two powerhouse clubs today. Noble Park taking on Vermont, and that's what we like. Division 1 Premier League football in the EFL. That's why we're here today. It's going to be an absolute cracker game. The two sides have won premierships over the last couple of years. They've got a great rivalry as well, and I just can't wait to see what happens out on the park, because I expect this one, Peter Baird, to be a real close one.
Absolutely. In the last two times these clubs have met, the margin's been less than a goal, both games. Vermont have gotten over the line in both clashes, both times these two clubs met last year. And you just look at the players in both sides, and they've got champions on every line. And the scene's set for the best player in the competition, I reckon, Ryan Mullet today. Big game. He loves playing against Noble Park. Kicked one of the goals of the year last year out here. I do. And kicked one of the goals of the year last year out here in that second time they met against Noble Park. And in that game, don't forget, Vermont came down from 3-4 goals down at three-quarter time to steal that win by 3 points. So these are two fantastic sides. I'm really looking forward to this clash this afternoon.
Well, let's have a look at some of those interesting matchups, Frosty. You talk about Ryan Mullet, but you've got to remember the 2011 Chandler medalist in Craig Anderson will be running around for the Bulls today. Is there a certain player or a certain matchup, do you think, that will really have a decisive factor in this game, or is it going to be a number of matchups?
Well, he might go head-to-head with Mullet, and how good would that be to watch in the
nice,
middle of it? I don't know whether or not Ando's going to be 100% right. He's missed the last couple of weeks with an abductor injury, so back into the side today. Shane Allen also comes back into the Noble Park lineup after having missed a couple of games with a hamstring. So if they're right and Cherry ripe, well, both teams have got what it takes to take away the win this afternoon. It's just going to be who brings their best game to the table this afternoon.
Pete, is there any chance that the Vermont side have probably forgotten about Craig Anderson? Just been pretty much out of the game for almost a year and a half now. Is there any chance that he might be let loose a little bit early in the game?
I don't think any side would take Craig Anderson very lightly. He's a picture of fitness. He trains harder than any player I've seen in the competition. He prides himself on his work ethic and his ability to run all day. So I very much doubt that. I think Chris Barlow would be having nightmares about some of the work that Craig Anderson's done over the last few years in the Eastern Football League. He's a Chandler medalist himself, a fantastic player, and no doubt he'll be one that they'll be putting plenty of work into this afternoon.
Well, we certainly look forward to some of those interesting matchups. We'll cross down shortly to our Kira Urgent Care boundary riders. The umpires are making their way out onto the ground, as are at Noble Park, led by their skipper, Craig Anderson, who was, of course, the 2011 Division 1 Chandler medalist, and he'll hopefully go head-to-head at some stage with the Division 1 Chandler medalist of 2012, Ryan Mullet. Plenty of great matchups around the ground, and a great match set here on the field. You can get involved in EFL Gameday anytime you want. Call text 0419 654 082 0419 654 082.
I'll be doing that from New York next week.
Oh, look forward to hearing that as well. From you can tweet us at FootyEFL, twitter.com/FootyEFL, or you can join in the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/FootyEFL, and have a look today at on your EFL mobile web app. If you go to matches and have a look at Division 1 today, we're trialling something today with Noble Park and Baldwin. They're going to be putting in live scores through Sporting Pulse today, and that is updated every 30 seconds. So if you've got an EFL mobile web app today, have a look at Division 1 matches, and hopefully Noble Park game here at Vermont, against Vermont I should say, and the Baldwin Roval game will be being updated.
If you don't have a mobile web app for the EFL, and I have been asked this over the last couple of weeks, what's the easiest way to get it on your iPhone?
The easiest way to get it is to, in your mobile device browser, go to m4mother.efl.org.au, so m.efl.org.au. If you've got an iPhone, a little screen will pop up saying add to home screen, so you press that add to home screen button, and then you've got access to all the latest news and information and results around the EFL. If you've got an Android app, you can I think it's an add to bookmark or add to home screen. There's a button there. It doesn't pop up, but if you've got an Android, you can certainly add that as well. So m.efl.org.au for the EFL mobile web app. You can
if I can do it, anyone can do it.
That's definitely very, very true. Where the sun is out, both teams are warming up here on EFL Gameday. Let's get some tips from the team as well. Let's start with our stats man, all thanks to Yarra Valley Ward today, Will Taylor.
I'm going to go for Noble Park by 4 goals.
No, 4 goals today for Wilbur.
Any stats behind that reason, Will?
I just think Vermont were very shaky last week against Norwood. They probably should have lost that game against Norwood. But you're right, they didn't. But I just don't think they're going to beat the calibre of Noble Park today.
Well, it'll be interesting. We'll watch this one with plenty of space. We'll hold that tip to you, Wilbur, a little bit later on today. Peter Baird, the big man, who's had a very nice feed in the Noble Park lunch beforehand. Who do you think will be able to take out the result today? Yes.
I'm going to stick with Noble Park as well. I set a rule a few years ago, you never tip against Noble Park out here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval, and that's not to say I continually get an invite to their president's lunch.
Did you eat my plate as well? I missed that lunch.
No, I had a very nice luncheon out there beside a couple of stalwarts of the Noble Park Footy Club, Graham Marchant and Kev Wright, former president. and had a bit of a chat with them. But yeah, it's very hard to go past Noble Park out here. They play this ground very, very well. I reckon they're a 3 or 4 goal better side on their home turf out here, and in front of their home crowd. They always get a big crowd out here, and I think they can get them over the line.
Well, big crowd is certainly building. Very hard to get a car park inside the ground today, so the crowd is certainly building, and we're privileged to be up here on the balcony. We thank Dave Allen and the team for allowing us to use the balcony as always. Braden Ingram, let's get rehear that tip from you between Noble Park and Vermont today. Who do you think will get the chocolates?
I think Vermont by about 7 points. The only query I have on it is if they run out the game. If they play 4 quarters of football, they will. I think that's been the query and the problem the last 3 weeks. They haven't probably played 4 quarters of football. If they do today, they'll win.
Well, we'll certainly watch that space with interest. BWS, I know you've been looking at this game for quite some time, studying up the names. Plenty of great players on both sides, but ultimately the team is the one that gets you the 4 points. Which team will be able to get that 4 points?
To and fro, Ben Waterworth. It's been a difficult game to pick, and as Frosty's already said, it's been a close match over recent games between these two sides. For some reason, I just in the end decided to go for the Vermont Football Club. I think that getting up in that last quarter last week was a big day for the club, their 1000th game. They'll take a lot out of that. Noble Park, they're a good side this year as well. They dropped off a little bit last year, and dropped off to the standard that they'd been used to over previous years before that, and it shapes really as a good game today. But as far as the way that I see the points going, I don't know. The fact that Proud kicked 5 goals last week, Greggy's in there and Van Noonan, I just think that the forward line of Vermont just has too much firepower for them, and I really think that they'll kick a winning score today.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, we'll hear from Billy Vickers and Riley Beveridge, who are riding the boundary today. You heard both of them between 1 and 1:30 on the Freight Partners pre-match. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Benny. Absolutely sensational day down here in fantastic conditions. Craig Anderson has just won the toss for the Noble Park Football Club. He's going to be kicking towards the Moodamere Street end, and I'll just let you know there is a pretty strong breeze going towards that end as well. I'll let you know for Noble Park, we've just got one late scratching. It's going to be Luke Mann comes out with an ankle injury. I'm liking Noble Park today, boys. I think Bobby Kemperman is going to do a big job. I'm just going to cross you over to my other offsider, Riley Beveridge. He's going to tell you about the Vermont team.
Yeah, Vermont have had 3 late scratchings. Kyle Emley, Nick Johnson and Brad Jordan have been admitted to the emergency.
And the game gets underway here out at Noble Park. Taylor got the knockdown and went straight into the arms of Schneider. He got tackled, snapped up there by Harper, snaps the ball around inside forward 50, but a mark has been taken down there by Dean Millhouse for the Eagles. He kicks it across towards the wing position now. That's okay. Mendes takes the mark out there. Short passes on. Bouncing ball towards the Froud direction, and he's come a long way out from goal. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Charging out in front there for Vermont was Robbie Ross. Got a little nudge in the back. The umpire might pay it there, and he has. So, free kick to the Eagles across the half-back line. Well, nearly moved up to centre wing, you would say. So the lead is on. Taylor's there all by himself, the big ruckman. The kick goes in that direction. He ended up getting a handle on it. The kick goes now inside forward 50 up towards Mendes. He's at the back of the pack. Comes down to Mitchum. The handball out there by Bird. Vermont surge forward. The kick goes to the top of the goal square. There's only Noble Park players there at the last line of defence, and it'll be Jackatine on the left boot to clear it out towards the half-back line there for Noble Park. Picked up nicely there by Barry Murphy. Got a little handball over. He's under a lot of pressure. Snap around the body there by Van Noonan. It went through for a behind. He really had no chance there, but he got a score on the board, and it's the first on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 1 minute mark in this first term, and it is Vermont 1 behind, Noble Park yet to score.
The 70-metre player, Stuart Kevin himself, will bring the ball in, and he kicks it to himself, runs 20 metres and kicks it 50 metres. You're on fire already, Peter Baird. Long kick up towards the wing position in front of us here on the broadcast position. Going in hard there was Barry Murphy. Umpire crosses himself, says we'll have a ball up true centre wing position. Jackatine manning up Van Noonan early. That'll be a matchup that we'll watch. Simon Taylor starting forward. Kemperman has got the big matchup of Froud as Hanley comes through on the left foot up towards the half-forward line, as if on cue. Froud was there. Ball comes to ground. Taylor gets it off to Ellis. Runs it back now to Schneider. High kick up towards 30 metres out from goal. Van Noonan is in position A. Thumped away by Kemperman into the hands of Tyson Mitchum. The hard knock goes into the middle of Pat Wright Senior Oval, but standing in the hole there for the Eagles was Tim Johnson. He brings it inboard to his big ruckman in Robbie Ross. Swings on the right foot. Kick towards Taylor towards the 2-on-1 situation, the Bulls will receive a free kick here. It will go the way of Jared Plimmin, and he's got it about 30 metres out from his defensive goal. He'll chip it short to his skipper and Anderson. Out wide, beautiful kick from Anderson as well. Out on the outer side, mark taken here by Sam Monaghan. He looks to play on quickly. He goes back and taken here for the Bulls, back to Monaghan and towards the full forward area. Numbers here with the Bulls that they can pick up and go. Eagles look to go back to go forward. Barry Murphy wrapped up in a tackle there by Tim Harper, and we'll see a ball up 30 metres out from the Bulls' goal.
Great pressure then in the forward line from the Noble Park forwards and locking the Vermont players up and just making them overuse the ball a little bit.
Well, there's something you don't see every day. Simon Taylor against Angelopoulos in the ruck as Vermont brings it out from defensive 50 now. Goes up towards the true centre wing position, but nicely done by Kemperman. This way, then that way. Beautiful left foot kick inboard. Mark taken by Mitchum, who started well. High kick towards the true full forward position, but standing in the hole there is a big Vermont ruckman in Simon Taylor, and Millhouse brings it away from half-back.
And Millhouse does indeed, and they're across the half-back line now, the Eagles. They lead it by 1 point. We've gone 3.5 minutes here in the first term. Ball now in the middle for Vermont. The handball comes over the top. It was intended for Mendes. He overran the pill, goes after it again. Pressure's on him. The ball scoots out now. Now the Eagles are away. The ball crosses the 50. A short little pass was intended there for Mendes. Picked up by Kemperman. Gets it across to Mitchum. He got the kick away towards the other side of the centre square, and a good mark has been taken there by Luke Cody. He nearly wanted to go on with it. The crowd screaming for 25. The umpire didn't want a bar of it, so Cody goes out further wide. So the mark has been taken out there by Matty Dunn, just slowing things down. Short passes on, and it was a beautiful, neat kick too. It didn't look too crush hot off the boot. Thought it might have fallen short, but the mark's been taken by Brett Dahl, the big forward. So he'll have a shot from about 50 metres out. He looked pretty confident in this one, Pete.
Yeah, he does. I haven't seen a lot of Brett Dahl play. New player at the club this year for Noble Park. We're going to find out a lot, but great space left in front of him. Able to lead into the hole, and Matty Dunn's able to hit him up 50 metres out from goal.
So he starts his run up from the centre square door. He comes in, he'll kick from about 52 metres out. It's the first shot on goal for Noble Park. It's a beautiful long kick straight over the goal umpire's head for a behind. So the scores are all even here out at Pat Wright Senior Oval, one behind apiece. Almost gone 5 minutes here in the first quarter. It was a nice looking kick, but it went through the points, Ben.
So Millhouse brings it out from half-back up towards centre wing position. Taylor went up, couldn't quite take the mark. Anderson gets a quick little kick away up towards the half-forward area. Shane Allen, hand passes back. The kick comes out from McConnell towards the top of the goal square. Might even go through for a goal, but it's just off to the near side and through for another minus score. Noble Park 2 behinds, Vermont 1 behind. We've played 5 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Will Taylor, some early stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
At the moment, the turnovers, Vermont 6, Noble Park 4. The tackles 7-0 in favour of Noble
There's
Park.
another turnover. Schneider off to Anderson. Mitchum, short little left foot kick towards the goal square. Wasn't a great effort in the end. Millhouse, as he always does, mops up across half-back and goes to Henley at right half-back. Plays on immediate leaders, the Chandler medalist. Up towards true centre wing position. 2-on-1. Vermont will take that in the end because Noble Park had 2-on-1 in that occasion, and Van Unen sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
We actually hoped for that matchup, and we've actually got it out there today. Ryan Mullett playing on Craig Anderson, going head-to-head, 2 of the competition's best.
Cracker.
Absolutely. The ball come back into play now as Cleve went up in the ruck against Taylor. Mullett wins the ball there on hands and knees. Handball further afield. There goes Tyson Mitchum. There he goes in and under once again. We love seeing that from him. And that's why he's in the side. He gets a hand pass quickly off to Monaghan. Dangerous kick into the middle, but the kick was up to standard. Trying to win an extra 25 metres on that occasion was Andrew McConnell. Umpire said no. And McConnell is now told to go back and take the free kick from behind his mark. It's worked out nicely for Vermont though, because as the ball's being kicked around from one end to the other, Vermont have been able to get numbers back. So Noble Park 2 behinds, Vermont 1 behind. 6.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. McConnell goes out towards the lead of Dorr over his head. He's got Bird for company. Ball sits nicely for Dorr though. Great tackle though from Travis Bird. Will he be rewarded by the umpire?
Oh, that's holding the ball.
Umpire says play on, And we'll see a ball up 55 metres around from the Noble Park goal on the outer side.
It's very interesting then. When Noble Park got that free kick across centre half-back, Vermont were very aware of not letting them be able to switch and create a loose player on the other side of the ground. Actually sent players loose out there themselves to try and stop that space, because we know how damaging Noble Park can be if they're able to transition out wide and get themselves into space.
And there's a ruck infringement on the outer side, so Simon Taylor's been given the free kick. Dangerous kick inboard. Might wrap up his own good work here, but trying to work his way through there was Ben Crow. Good tackle on that occasion by the Bulls. Angelopoulos plays on, kicks towards the top of the goal square, going back and taking a strong mark as he always does. Dean Millhouse, he'll be getting a lot of footy across half-back today, BWS.
Yeah, Angelopoulos shouldn't have paid on there, and so the kick goes out towards the Wilson direction. He dropped what he probably should have taken. The ball falls in the arms of Harper. He snaps around the body and he puts through another behind. So second blemish, or the fourth blemish in fact, for the Noble Park Football Club. They, at the 7.5 minute mark of the first term, they are 3 behinds. They lead by 2 points. Vermont one behind. Braden Ingram.
Vermont continue to turn over the ball in their back half. Noble Park just can't seem to take the opportunities at the moment though.
They're still across the half-back line. Vermont are cleared it out of that danger zone. A free kick has been paid. High tackle, so the Eagles will move it forward. Mark's been taken by Wilson. This time he takes it. He moves on quickly, goes for the 1-2. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line. He was fouled after he got rid of it, so Froud will be the recipient about 55 metres out from goal for Vermont. There's no one forward. He could nearly have a ping here and let it bounce through. So Ash Froud, legend of the Vermont Football Club, went to Sylvan last year, returned this season, kicked 5 goals in their thousands game, and now it's kicked that ball into absolutely no man's land. The Bulls will have a lot of time here just to get themselves out of trouble, and the kick goes out wide. That was okay. Dunn takes the mark. So just slowing things down a little bit here. The Bulls, as they drive the ball into the middle. Taylor was there. It was a 2-on-1 situation. The intended target was Dorr. They put him under a lot of pressure. Coming in through there was Harper. He just needs to trap the ball. Also in there was Kemperman of the Bob variety. Got the handball away to Cosson. Inside forward 50 was a pot shot. It went absolutely nowhere. And the Eagles, once again through Millhouse, will clear the ball out. The kick goes towards the mullet direction. Made him work for it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Pete, at the moment it looks like Van Noonen and Froud playing very high up the ground, and when they get a quick break, Vermont, they can't seem to take advantage of it because the players, they've got no one to kick to.
Yeah, I think both teams are playing 2 or 3 men loose in defence at the moment, just trying to feel each other out, get hands on the footy and try and gain some ascendancy through that midfield.
Well, Schneider got a nice little handball out, and Vermont have got out of danger here across that half-back line, and the mark's been taken by Alice. So on the far side of the ground out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval, the Eagles take off. This is Lockie Johns. Kicks the ball up towards the 50-metre line for out at the back spot, but he might be able to mop up here. He's got an open goal line. He snaps around the body. It's a good-looking kick off the boot. He's a super player, and that's his first goal. And that is the first goal of the afternoon to Ash Froud. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Vermont leading it 1 goal. 1-7 to Noble Park, 3 behinds. Just getting a little bit creative there on the scoreboard. A few little highlights afterwards. Goals being kicked, Pete.
Yeah, just shows the class there of Ash Froud. He worked really hard. He's got front and square at the front of the pack. When the ball came to ground, was just able to swing around onto that left boot and just snap truly from 50 metres out, knowing that vacant space exists in front of the goals. The ball just be able to bounce through.
So the ball back in the middle. Umpire Andrew Gillies balled the ball up, and Vermont able to get the clearing kick out wide. Frash led out hard, tried to find his good mate and Barden. That was Chris Barden on that occasion, to no avail. Plimmin did well, won a hard footing, got it off to McConnell. Short chipping ball will just stab the kick in the end, and it affected its trajectory. Anderson just stumps it up towards the full forward area. Dorr comes out, couldn't quite take the mark. Allen front and centre, where he usually is, just off to the right hand side and through for a minor score. Bulls peppering, not scoring. 1-7 Vermont. Bulls 4 behinds, almost 11 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Noble Park got to take those opportunities early. 4 behinds, they've all been kickable goals, and they've just got to take those opportunities, especially against such a great side in Vermont.
So Millhouse brings it into the veteran fullback McCarthy. He's at left back pocket. Swings on that left foot kick. It's high. Ross is there. He went up, as did that man in Jordan. Anderson again up towards the full forward area, thumped away by Millhouse. Oh, nice little crumb on that occasion. The Bulls just try to swing it out, but Vermont have the numbers. Henley, handball's behind his head, works out okay in the end. They'll look to bring it out to the outer side with the Eagles. Short chipping ball was looking for Chris Barden, but chopped off by the Bulls in the end. Taken here by Cosson, the former Scoresby boy. True centering position. Swings it high, but there's a nest of Eagles there. Can they muffle it? The thump from McCarthy was a poor one. Straight to Angelopoulos. Tries to find Allen. The handball on that occasion wasn't great. Millhouse receives it right back pocket. Good tackle applied there by the Bulls forwards. They have plenty of numbers around here, do the Eagles. Henley got a little hand pass off. Barry Murphy stepped over the boundary line and out of bounds, so we'll see a ball back in here, Braden.
At the moment, Noble Park are just being too cute. Instead of going to the first option, they're passing it around and looking to get players involved. They've got to take the first option. They're going to kick goals if they do.
Yeah, a couple of times there, Georgie Angelopoulos has tried to do the things, a couple of things a little bit too fancy. Just go back to playing, take the first option, get the ball into the boot, get into a position of advantage.
As if on cue, Angelopoulos towards goal. Which way will it bounce? The ball's still alive. But the Eagles will look to rebound here. Davidson chips it inboard to Ellis. He takes the mark, middle of Pat Wright Senior Oval. He went back and got it, did Davidson. A nice little hand pass off to Wilson. Back to Ellis. He chips it out towards the true centering position. Mark taken here by Froud. He assesses his options up forward. Doesn't quickly kick now. Decides to go up towards the half-forward area. He's his good mate, Matty Gregg. Was tackled off the ball on that occasion, and Bobby Kempman wins out, and both teams I think will be happy to see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. True centering position on the outer side. Noble Park 4 behinds, Vermont 1-1-7, 13 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Here's BWS on EFL Game Day.
So the umpire brings the ball back in. We've had free kicks been paid. It'll go the way of Cleveland for Noble Park. A bit of shepherding in the rock jewel there. Cleveland kicks the ball inside forward 50. It was a good looking kick too. It was 3-on-1 situation though, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Just too slow in their ball movement, unfortunately, for Noble Park at the moment. It's allowing the Vermont defenders to flood back in numbers, and they've got 3 or 4 at the defensive side of the pack every time and able to run it out of defence.
Taylor got the knockdown from the throw-in. That was okay at the fall. The ball there, Schneider, as you'd expect. He's gang tackled and will have a bounce about 45 metres out, or it may be even a little bit less than that from the Noble Park goals. They're currently trailed by 3 points, yet to get a major on the board. Taylor got the knockdown. That was good play there to Schneider. Copped a high one. He'll receive the free kick in the back line. He's getting a bit of the ball early, Pete.
Oh, he has. He's been great. He's been in and under around the packs and prepared to do that hard work.
So Schneider, he goes backwards to Millhouse, the general in the goal square. Goes out wide. That was okay. Barden. Used to wear 21, didn't he, Barden, for Vermont, Pete?
I can't remember back that far.
Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that little question in. But anyway, the game continues on. The ball's outside the defensive 50, Noble Park. They'll have another chance through Georgie Angelopoulos. He takes off. It's a short little kick, and it's a great one too, because Dorr found space, and he'll have a shot for goal about 35 metres out, about a 45-degree angle.
That was much better than from Georgie Angelopoulos. Instead of trying to be too cute or trying to do the fancy thing, run around a man, he looked for the best option that presented, was able to hit him up 35 out, and the Bulls should get a goal out of it. Much better play then from little Georgie.
Distance won't be a problem. Finding the big sticks has been so far for Noble Park. Dorr comes in. He's already kicked one behind, but this one makes no mistake. Straight over the goal umpire's head for the Noble Park side's first goal of the afternoon, and they get the lead as well. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they lead it 1-4-10 to 1-3-7. Sorry, this scoreboard's it's throwing me out. Whether it's electronic or whether it's not, it's throwing me out week in, week out. Let's go down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. It's a 3-point lead to Noble Park. Billy Vickers, what do you got for us?
Just down at the interchange gates, boys, and you can really tell from ground level the physicality of this first quarter. The boys are coming off really blowing hard, and we've just had Luke Cody, number 24. He's got a blood rule.
Will Taylor, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Noble Park inside forward 50, 16-5. The turnovers at the moment is now 17-11 in favour of the Vermont Eagles.
Well, Barden got it inside forward 50, trying to tackle it there was Colin Howe, but picked up in the end by the Eagles, and a kick around the body has seen a goal through, and it's Ash Froud, and the Eagles get their second on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 2-1-13 Vermont. Noble Park 1-4-10, and it is almost 16 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Goal for goal just in the last couple of minutes there, Braden.
Quick clearance, ball comes straight down, and Ashford just wanted it more, bullied his opponent out of it, went to ground, got straight back up, great snap next to the far left behind post, but that's just Vermont at the moment, has more inside 50s by far Noble Park, but when Vermont get it in there, they're taking advantage, whereas you see Noble Park, they're messing around with it and overusing the footy.
Early contender there for EFL Player of the Week next week on EFL TV.
Great bit of answering by the Vermont Football Club, but it doesn't matter because Anderson has other things on the agenda. He drives the ball long, he's
this could be a ripper goal. I think it's bounced through. What a super reply. It is goal for goal out of Pat Wright Senior Oval, and Noble Park regain the lead. They are 2 goals 4-16. Vermont 2-1-13. Well, we are here for a ripper.
Absolutely. That was vintage Craig Anderson then able to break lines, run to 50 metres. That was almost Ryan Mullet-like in late 2012.
You're obsessed with that goal.
It's the best one I've seen. But that one there is going to go very close as well. And I said that Ash Brown was a contender for EFL TV Player of the Week next week. I reckon we might feature that one from Craig Anderson on there.
Great start to this game. We're set for a beauty, goal for goal. 2 Division 1 heavyweights going head to head. It's the Bulls by 3 points here on EFL Gameday. Hope you're enjoying it on 98.1 FM or on EFL.org.au. Oh, as if on cue. Mullet out of the middle. Up towards Greg. Thumped away from him by Howe. Ball comes to ground. Did well on that occasion. But Howe's handball was atrocious. Schneider says, thank you very much for a minus score.
Oh, damn.
Vermont 2-2-14. Noble Park 2-4-16. 17.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's Vermont and Noble.
Stewie Kemmerman wastes no time, goes to Mitchum. He goes out wider. That was okay. So they're still in that half-back line. The kick finds the arms of Davidson for Vermont. So they've chopped it off here. Short passes on there. Finds Ross. Bangs the ball inside forward 50. The target is Taylor. Well, wanted to go to the main man, but at the back of the pack, Tom Schneider just knew where to be, and the ball fell in his lap. So he'll have a shot on goal to regain the lead for Vermont.
Just read the ball a little bit better than everyone else in that situation there, Tommy Schneider. The Noble Park defenders were worried about Big Simon Taylor dropping back into the hole. He worked underneath the ball and allowed it to come over the back, and it fell into the arms of Tommy Schneider. Lucks of fortune in the right place at the right time.
Well, he's a clever footballer, we know that. He's had a bit of it early, drifted forward, taken a good mark. Now he has to do some damage on the scoreboard. Comes in from 40 metres. That was an absolute shocker of a kick. He got way too close to the man on the mark. Greg nearly got a handle on it. It's still alive in the forward pocket. Greg goes back to Bard, and his kick was half smothered. So they might get away with this, the Bulls here. Good little handball over the top there by Robertson. They have cleared the ball, half smothered across the half-back line, back towards Robertson. The handball in there. They've mucked it up here. Giacchettini fumbles it. They're still going to maybe possibly get out of danger here as the kick goes towards the Henley direction. Bouncing football. No one can get a clear disposal. The handballs, the kicks, they're going absolutely everywhere. It's pushed towards 70 metres out from goal. Now the short pass is on, and a good mark's been taken by Alice, low to the ground. He's about 45 metres out. He wanted to square things up here. He went over the head of Taylor, and it didn't really matter anyway because the big man came in. It was intended there for Mendy's drop, what he probably should have taken. Now the ball's been kicked off the ground. It goes up towards the half-forward line for Noble Park, but they've got numbers behind the ball here, Vermont, and they'll be able to regain it again. So the mark's been taken by McCarthy in the middle. Switches the ball out wide. This is a fast-paced game. Mullet's all by himself if they want him. The short pass is on. It went towards Greg. Mullet eventually gets it from Taylor on the left boot. Kicks it across the face of goal. Kemperman's there as well, and he stands strong, Bobby, and he takes a great mark, and he wants to keep things moving. He gets a handball across to his captain in Anderson. Balks one, then kicks it out of that danger zone up towards the wing position. Flying over the top there was Dorr. Got a fist on it. That was good. He might actually get it back here. Instead, running through there was Smith on the left boot. They've got players all alone up across the half-forward line, do the Noble Park side. They kick it inside forward 50 now. Bouncing ball. Mendes, he overran it. Coming through also for support there was McCarthy. That was good by Vermont, and they're going to clear through the middle.
Yeah, Davidson's got it on the outer side. Takes a true centering position. Goes off to his skipper and Mullet this way then that way. Angelopoulos v Mullet. Mullet's kick towards Truce half forward. He's good to Schneider. He takes the mark. He's right on the 50-metre arc. There is a slight breeze going towards the Moodamere side of things. Schneider goes to Taylor all by himself. How did he find that space for such a big man? Doesn't matter for Vermont because they've got a shot directly in front, and this will look to put the Eagles back in front.
The last 5 minutes, the intensity of this match is just lifted so much. Pressure's been there, and then you're seeing a lot of players just dinky little kicks instead of going long, as I've said before, instead of using first option. Eventually, Noble Park got out, probably should have had a chance on goal, but Vermont did well in their back half, boarded in quickly, and that's what you're going to have to do today. Get it into the forward line quickly and don't muck about.
So Simon Taylor directly in front, about 14 metres out from goal. Shouldn't have too many issues. Goal umpire does a little bit of dancing to the right, but it sneaks home. And the Eagles are back in front at Pat Wright Senior Oval. 3-2-20 leads 2-4-16 are the Bulls. 21 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care Riley.
Ryan Mullet, as you said, he's been working off Craig Anderson throughout this first half, and he set up that play there because he's been moving forward and no one's been going with him, so he's been able to find space inside his own inside 50.
He's a fit footballer, Peter Baird. Taylor, he's found a bit of space early in this game.
Yeah, the only problem is he's been caught under the ball a couple of times, but when he's able to get in position like that, he's such a big man, so hard to move, and a really smart player at times as well.
Well, once again, he got the knockdown straight into the arms of Mitchum, who got a little handball away. It's a free kick to Vermont inside the centre square. It'll be taken by Nathan Henley. Kicks up towards the wing position. Plymouth found some space himself, drives the ball inside 450. It went over everybody's head here. Who's going to be the one to win out? It's going to be that man in Bobby Kemperman. Drives the ball up towards the half-forward line for Noble Park. These Kemperman boys, they really can roost the football. Henley gets the handball away this time to Crow. It's got to bounce favourably for him. The short pass is on. It was chopped off there beautifully by Dorr. He might have a roost from here, Dorr. He's a super kick, Dorr. What a goal that is for Noble Park. That is their third on the board, and they regain the lead again. 3 goals for 22. Lead Vermont 3 goals to 20. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Oh, fantastic play there and great presentation from Dorr. He was able to read and intercept that kick there from Vermont coming out of defence, and just showing some agility then from the big man, being able to swing around and roost from 50 metres out. Tell you what, he's got a fair kick on him, Braden Ingram.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what's really helping Vermont at the moment is the ruck battle. Taylor's got the advantage at the moment. We said it was going to be key, but just keep an eye on Stuart Cleve. He's been strong early as well.
Well, Cleve goes up in the ruck against Ross on that occasion. Umpires pulled out a free kick. The non-officiating umpire advantage has not been paid to Mullet, who had a absolute paddock to work in. But the umpire did not call advantage because it was the non-officiating umpire. So as we wait, Mendez is the man who's got the ball now. Now goes to Mullet, who presents some marks about 30 metres forward from where he received the ball. Beautiful kick to Greg, who presented the Dukes very nicely. And it's got to be 25 metres against Cohen Howe. Greg took the mark. Howe brought him to ground after the mark was taken. So Greg will be advanced a further 25 metres. He got dragged as well, did Cohen Howe. So Greg will line up 45 degree angle, but he's on the right side for a left footer.
That's about a 10 metre penalty, but anyway.
I don't think it's going to make much difference to Matty Gregg.
He's normally a good kick for goal, Matty Gregg. Decoy and him don't go in the same sentence normally, but with Van Unen and Froud in the same forward line, he might have had a little bit of that over the past week or so. But here's Matty Gregg, a legendary goal kicker at Vermont, comes in and doesn't kick like a legendary goal kicker at Vermont. Out of bounds on the full left forward pocket, and it's still the Bulls by 2 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I don't believe that kick from Matty Gregg. He's arguably the best full forward ever to have played in the Eastern Football League, and to not even score then from 25 metres out, only a 45 degree angle, that's surprising.
So Craig Jackatine will receive the free kick, right back pocket for the Bulls as Mr. Whippy just drives past him. Jackatine long out towards right half back. Vermont had the numbers over the back. McCarthy took a nice mark. What's he doing on the half forward flank? He now looks inboard. He's got numbers short, chips it over the top towards Johns. One hand, almost should have been paid the free kick. Umpire said play on. Anderson rebounds out of defensive 50, up towards true centre wing. Dorr is one-on-one with his opponent. Balanced it nicely, did Brett Dorr. Swings on the left foot. He's got a few players up ahead. Stewie Kemperman's inside forward 50. He's got Bird for company. The boundary line might beat both of those players, and it does. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Bulls. They lead by 2 points.
You'd like to see the Vermont players keep an eye on Anderson, especially in the back half. He's getting clearances and getting the ball out quickly in Noble Park, and they're able to get it forward very, very quickly.
I reckon they're pretty happy with that matchup at the moment with Ryan Mullet, because I reckon Anderson's having the better of it.
Dorr and Ross went up in the ruck. Diving on the ball is Harper. Needs to get rid of the footy. Vermont players hold it into that player, and we'll see a ball up. 2 points, the Bulls lead by 25 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Hope you're enjoying EFL Gameday live from Pat Wright Senior Oval today. Ball up occurs now. Heaps of players converge on it. And umpire says stalemate. I'll have a third ball up. Will Taylor, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Noble Park inside forward 50, 18-14. And at the moment, the clearance is Vermont 10-4.
Umpires pulled out a free kick in the ruck. It's going against Brett Dorr for shepherding out of the ruck, and will go the way of Robbie Ross. Number 10 in Frosty's top 50 this year.
Playing his 150th game today for the Vermont Football Club.
He passes to his good mate Dean Millhouse, who's had a lot of uncontested possessions off half-back. He goes out towards true centre wing position, thumped away by Plymouth, but the umpires pulled out a free kick on that occasion, Andrew Gillies, and it will go the way of Cleve for Noble Park. Spears it inside 50.
Great kick.
A man half his size in George Angelopoulos. He's right on 50. Wheels around now. Spears it short. It's a good kick to Scalzo. Couldn't quite take the mark. Would have been a good story if Scalzo would have taken that and had a shot at goal. Barden received the hand pass, but it was smothered on that occasion by the Bulls forward line, and we'll see a boundary throw in. Bulls lead this one by 2 points. 27 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in the first term. Dorr brought it to ground. Now dives on top of the football. Vermont players converge on him, and we'll see a ball up. Noble Park 3-4-22, Vermont 3-2-20. Stay tuned right throughout EFL Game Day. We'll have live around the ground scores from all 21 matches in the EFL. Ball comes out, but the mark's been taken here by Trent Robertson. He's right on 50. Normally finds himself in the defensive 50 to Trent Robertson.
Have a shot.
He might have to have a shot because there's not a lot of short options on. Instead, he handballs it off. Opportunity now, a long kick towards goal from Kelly. It's just off to the left-hand side and goes through for a minor score. So the Bulls go on to 3-5-23. Vermont 3-2-20. Just over 27 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. EFL Game Day. We're in the first quarter still.
So Millhouse goes short. There can't be too much time left in this first term. They probably just want to hold the ball up a little bit here, Vermont. Short passes is on. Back to Millhouse. She's only 20 metres out from the Noble Park goals. The kicks have got to be good. Mark taken by Wilson. Another short pass. It's kick-to-kick football out here. Barry Murphy has it for Vermont. They're still in that defensive 50 zone. Another short pass options on, and it's been chopped off there though. Howe takes it. He goes inboard, and that was a beautiful looking kick too. And the mark has been taken down there in the forward line, Braden.
Too cute. Instead of going to long options, they're going short inside their defensive 50, back into the corridor, and it's always a risky decision. And again, it's gifted Noble Park a shot after the siren to extend their lead.
Matty Dunn with the ball there, BWS.
Yes, it is Matty Dunn. So it'll be about 45 metres out from goal. He'll kick on the siren here at quarter time. They currently lead by 3 points. They can stretch it to 9, the Bulls. That's a good looking kick off the boot, and it goes straight through the middle too. So Noble Park on the siren stretch their lead to 9 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They move to 4 goals, 5-29. Vermont are 3 goals, 2-20. This is a great game we're seeing, Ben Waterworth.
Certainly is. 2 goals to Brett Dorr, 1 to Craig Anderson and 1 to Matt Dunn, and for Vermont 2 to Ashfroud and 1 to Simon Taylor. We'll have some word from our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders and hear the stats and hear the special comments right after the break here on EFL Game Day. We'll come back with all the around the ground scores as well. But it's the second quarter action coming up right after the break here on EFL Game Day.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Akira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Damian Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1. I have a couple of progress scores from the AFL to bring to you. And if you're listening across the eastern suburbs of Melbourne from various grounds around the EFL, do not adjust your radio sets because what I'm about to tell you is absolutely accurate. The GWS Giants currently lead the top of the table Essendon side by 21 points. 14 minutes into the second term, the Giants lead 6-4-40 currently over Essendon, a very inaccurate total of 2-7-19. Jeremy Cameron has been the star focal point up forward for the GWS side. He has booted 3 goals thus far. Tom Scully has figured in the possession count and he's also booted 2 goals. Moore is the leading possession gainer on the ground, accumulating 12 disposals so far for the GWS Giants. That game, of course, is at Etihad Stadium. And in the other clash down in the Apple Isle, Bloodstone Arena in Hobart, North Melbourne, the home side, currently lead Port Adelaide by 21 points. 25 and a half minutes into the first term, so we're almost at the quarter time break. It is North Melbourne with a promising start. 5-2-32 leading the power. 1-5-11. Black, Majak Dor and Todd Goldstein are on the board for North Melbourne with majors, while Need has booted the only goal for Port Adelaide. Now, do you desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit TMB Discount Window Warehouse, who'll have the right solution for you. TMB has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you'll still have spare change to finish off your renovations. Visit TMB's new superstore at Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or call 1300 075 038. That number again, 1300 075 038. TMB Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, quarter time here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Noble Park 4-5-29 to Vermont 3-2-20. A great game we're seeing out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Just another Division 1 scores. Baldwin lead Roval by 17 points. Lilydale lead Knox by 22 points. Out at Scoresby and East Ringwood, Scoresby lead by 7 points. Norwood and East Burwood, Norwood lead by 3 points. And Blackburn have got an 18-point lead over South Croydon at the Kennel. North Ringwood 3-3-21 lead Mooroolbark 4 behind, so a good start for the Saints. Donvale 2-3-15 lead Mulgrave 2 behinds, and Croydon lead Doncaster East by 8 points. We'll bring you some Division 3 and 4 scores very, very shortly. But before we do, let's hear some Choose Tap stats from Will Taylor.
Noble Park inside forward 50, 20-14. The clearances, Vermont 12-4. The marks inside forward 50, 5-4 in favour of the Bulls. The marks inside defensive 50, 13-2 in favour of Vermont. Free kick count 9-6 in favour of Vermont. The turnovers 26-15 in favour of Vermont, and the tackles 19-7 in favour of Noble Park.
Great work there from Will Taylor, all thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, choose tap. The Bulls by 9 points if you're just joining us here on EFL Game Day. Plenty of great games happening all around the EFL. We'll bring you up to date with those very, very shortly. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Thanks, Benny. I've got the Noble Park Footy Club coach Mick Fogarty here. Mick, how did you see that first half?
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that. Look, we played okay. We just got to be a bit more accountable in the second half of that quarter with our mids. Marlett got off the chain a bit, but overall I was happy with our pressure around the footy. Millhouse caused us a bit of grief as a Lucy down back like we did last week, so we tried to man that up and make Tim Kelly dangerous.
Can you just give us your thoughts and your logic on that key matchup? Craig Anderson is going, it looks like he's going with Ryan Mullet.
No, he's going with Snyder. He's going with Tommy Snyder. So Monahan's going with Mullet and Mitchum's going with Memphis.
Do you have any plans to clamp down on him anymore this second half? Or
we're trying. Monahan's trying, and when we get the footy, Monahan's is trying to get off the chain.
And just quickly, the real keys for this the rest of the game?
Midfield.
Thank you.
Great work there from Mick Fogarty with Billy Vickers, all thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Braden?
Interesting there, Pete. Mullet's gone to Monahan, vice versa, and also you've got Schneider with Anderson, thank you. So a little bit of an interesting one. I don't mind that Schneider, the younger legs. That's actually probably not a bad matchup with Anderson, Pete.
Oh, it's fair.
Size-wise, I think it's a bit better as well, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, they're all four of them are champions in their own right, great players. So I mean, this is just mouth-watering stuff, watching the best go at it in the Eastern Football League.
We've got got the best against the best here at the Pat Wright Senior
I reckon
Oval.
Baldwin might have something to say about that.
They might have something to say about that. They're not going too bad themselves, and they currently lead Roeville around the grounds. We'll bring you all those scores very, very shortly, but right here, right now, at the Pat Wright Senior Oval, it is Noble Park 4-5-29, leading Vermont 3-2-20 here on EFL Gameday, BWS.
Second quarter underway now. Was a knockdown there by Cleve. Got the handball away. It's still in the centre square. Little scramble kick there by Noble Park. Was half smothered by Monaghan. And there's a free kick to Vermont in the middle here. So they take it away. Driving kick inside forward 50. Goes towards the forward pocket now. Bounces over the head that time of Robbie Ross over the boundary line and out of bounds. No, it's actually stayed in. It might actually work out all right for Froud. He loves his position, Froud. You can't believe it. He snagged this one. Super play. That's his second goal of the afternoon. And that is Vermont's fourth on the board. And they narrow the margin back to 3 points. It only took a minute. Vermont 4-2-20. Noble Park 4-5-29. He's a master.
It's the pocket you want to be in if you're a right footer and if you're Ash Froud, because he just slugs them from there, doesn't have any trouble, and he's had a great start. Already kicked 3, and you've got to watch him anywhere on the ground, anywhere in that 50 to 60 region, he can kick a goal, and at the moment Kepperman's struggling to go with him, I think.
We'll cross down boundary side very shortly to Riley, who was in the Vermont huddle, but back in the middle now. Both teams go at it. Mitchum led the race. Mullet and Allen go head-to-head. Picked up, though, by the ball. Scalzo, nice little hand pass out to Mitchum, up towards the full forward area. McCarthy with it. Stolen by Georgie Angelopoulos. Beautiful hand pass inboard, and Cody runs into the open goal. Luke Cody gets his first, and Noble Park get the quick reply. 5-5-35 the Bulls. Vermont 4-2-26 in the early stages in the second quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down boundary side to Riley Beveridge, who was at the Vermont huddle.
Yeah, Chris Barlow was very disappointed with the short chip kicks off half-back throughout the first quarter. But overall, they were pretty happy that they only went into the break 9 points down. It's a 2-goal breeze to that end that Noble Park were kicking on, so overall they were pretty happy.
I hope there's no police in here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval then, because Georgie Angelopoulos picked his pocket then to steal that ball and dish it off to set up that goal for Noble Park.
You were disappointed you missed that call.
I was.
Taylor got the knockdown. Vermont get the clearance. It goes up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing footy. It'll go out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in. Nearly true centre wing position out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval.
At the moment, no one seems to be able to stop the fast break, and that's the thing. When the players have got the ball about 80 out from goal, they don't seem to want to move it fast, whereas the clearances are showing that if you get the ball in quickly, you've got a good chance of scoring a goal.
Taylor got it straight down to Schneider. That was just poetry in motion as he kicked it up towards the Greg direction he needed to trap it. Charging through was McConnell. Greg's been given a free kick outside 50, so that looked a little bit dubious, Peter Bird.
Yeah, I reckon that's a bit soft then. Greg played for the free kick then. I think he's been able to suck the umpire in on that occasion then. He was outnumbered, and his only option then to try and keep possession of the ball for his side was to go to ground and feign the free kick. He's been rewarded with it, so all credit to him, but he's going to go back. He'd want to have a better kick at goal than what he had in the first quarter, though. Very disappointing when he put it out of bounds on the full. I reckon this one here, he's looking to make amends.
We might have a blood rule here. It looks as though the umpire's called for the blood rule signal, so someone will be going off. Not quite sure who it is at the moment.
That's Greg, yeah.
In fact,
maybe there was a bit more in than what we actually thought there, BWS.
Yeah, maybe he went in a little bit harder than what you said, Pete.
Quite possibly, but showing that here the special comments don't always know what we're talking about then. Obviously drawn a little bit of claret then from Matty Gregg, so perhaps he was collected a little bit high.
Well, luck's a fortune for the Vermont Football Club, because wouldn't you know it, JVU, Justin Van Unen, has the ball in his hands. Let's cross down boundary side very quickly. No, we won't, in fact, because Justin's coming in to have a shot now. He starts his run up behind the centre square. He'll end up kicking from 55 metres out. He hasn't kicked a goal today, but he's a beautiful kick of the football. That is a strong-looking kick, and he nearly knocked the post out of the ground because he hit the post, and it is one behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, moving Vermont onto 4 goals, 3-27, still trailing by 8 points, 5-5-35. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, Matt Gregg come off, bit of a cut above his nose there. Got some fair bit of criticism coming from the Noble Park fans.
Oh, well, Ash Froud just stole it. Sorry to cut you off there, Riley. He's kicked his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Well, 4th goal, in fact. He's on fire here, Ash Froud. He kicked 5 last week. Welcome back to the Vermont Football Club. And he's got them back in front as well on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 4.5 minute mark. It is Vermont 5 goals, well, 3-33. They're only trailing by 2 points now. It is Noble Park 5-5-35.
Just shows how damaging Ash Froud can be. He's not only a fantastic player out on the lead, but very mercure at ground level, able to read the play and steal and intercept that to goal for Vermont.
Ball back in the middle. Mullet got a little hand pass off to Mendez. Just slams on the left foot up towards Truce in a half forward position. Players went up in the ruck. Here comes Chadwick, the bald man himself. Ball was held to him by Stuart Kemperman. Both players happy to have a ball up as Wayne Duke crosses himself the umpire, and we'll see a ball up. Truce in a half forward position. Almost 5 minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The ball's by 2 points. Hope you're enjoying this call on EFL Game Day. Ball comes to ground. Johns tried to work his way through. Chadwick went in and won a hard ball. Couldn't quite get a clean possession off. Kemperman is wrapped up by Ellis, and we'll see a secondary ball up.
Pete, do you consider moving Bob Kemperman if Froude's already kicked 4 and he's really having a thorough impact on the game at the moment?
I think Kemperman's so good in being able to set up across half-back, but he's got to pay attention to a bloke that's damaging as Froude. That's something that Mick Fogarty's got to really keep attention to.
Well, Daniel Mendez went in and won a hard ball, and Tyson Mitchum got into the back of Daniel Mendez, and the umpire Wayne Duke has pulled out a free kick, and it will be going the way of Mendez. 30 metres out from goal, a slight angle, but he's a class player, Daniel Mendez. He shouldn't have too many issues from here.
Good chance here. They've had a great start to this second term here, Vermont, and Noble Park just got to be a little bit worried. We talk about their firepower early, and Vermont's certainly getting it up and about at the moment.
Might be time for another lead change here, gentlemen, as Mendez comes in, looks a little right, but it squeezes in for another goal. And the Eagles are back in front by 4 points, 6-3-39. They lead Noble Park 5-5-35. Just over 3-4 minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This is all on EFL Gameday 98.1 FM and EFL.org.au.
I think that's the scoring end of the ground, the Moodamere Street end of Noble Park, Pat Wright Senior Oval today. Noble Park used it pretty well in the first quarter. They were wasteful early, though. They possibly could have been 2 or 3 goals up at quarter time. Weren't able to capitalise on that, but it looks like Vermont are going to try and make the most of kicking towards that end of the ground.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. No one got a clear tap out. Taylor goes for the tackle there. Noble Park might be able to clear this one out. The handball goes out towards Harper. Goes for the 1-2. Kick goes inside forward 50. Who's going to be the faller ball? Cody was in there as well. Bird comes in for Vermont. He trapped it. Got the handball away. Stolen by Harper. He got gang tackled about 40 metres out from goal. And we'll have a bounce. So it's in the Noble Park forward line. A trail by 4 points. Umpire quick to restart proceedings here. That was a good knockdown that time there by Dorr, the big man. Vermont are going to clear this though. Henley doubles back, gets the handball away. It was risky. Gets it to Chadwick. He goes out wide. They drive the ball along the wing up towards the half forward line, but players all back for Howell in Noble Park, and he takes the mark. So the short pass will go back on along the wing position. It's been taken there by McConnell. Got the handball away. Got it to Anderson. That was holding the ball, if ever I've seen it. The umpire eventually pays it, picked up by Froude. Advantage paid will be done. That's a good kick too, because he's found his teammate in Robbie Ross across the half forward line. So Ross, short passes. Oh, that's a good kick too, because Chadwick was in front and he takes the mark only about 45 metres out from goal. He'll kick from the 50, but he looks pretty confident.
Great work there from Ross. He lowered the eyes. Noble Park had 4-1 deep in the square. Instead of bombing along to an unwinnable contest, instead he went short and found a good opportunity and a good chance here for Vermont to extend their lead.
So Chadwick comes in now. He kicks from 50. It's a beautiful looking kick off the boot, straight over the goal umpire's head for his first goal of the afternoon, and Vermont's 7th as well, and they stretch their lead now to 10 points. They are 7 goals, 3-45, leading Noble Park 5-5-35. We've gone 8.5 minutes here in the second term.
Just what you want a player to do coming off the bench, Paul Chadwick. He's made a real impact straight away for Chris Barlow. He sat on the bench for most of that first quarter then, but he's just been let off the leash, and as soon as he come on the ground and make an impact like that, is exactly what you want to do, having not started on the ground.
We've got some around the ground scores. I'll bring them to you very, very shortly as Wayne Duke balls the ball up in the middle of the ground. Vermont just with the ascendance in the last couple of minutes. Hand pass came at that time from Monaghan. Duke's paid a free kick. Will go the way of the Bulls. It was off the ball, and it will go the way of McConnell. He's told to... No, in fact, it wasn't going to McConnell. It's gone to Monaghan. So he's in the middle of Pat Wright Senior Oval. He chips it over the top, and he's got a player in McConnell who's been one of Noble Park's best so far. Beautiful lead this time from Matt Dunn. He's got it about 55 metres out from goal. Dorr leads towards the pocket. Dunn ignores him. He goes looking for Cosson. He's on the lead, Bo Cosson, and he gets there. Oh, he dropped it what he probably should have taken. Chadwick was at the fore of the ball, couldn't quite pick it up cleanly. Vermont have numbers, bit of friendly fire as Ross bumped into Henley, and players conversion the football now. It's a rugby union scroll there, and we'll see a ball up 30 metres out from goal.
In the first quarter, we saw when there was a stoppage in the Noble Park forward 50, all the Vermont players pushed inside, and it made it hard. As soon as they got a clearance, it went straight back in. They've stopped that process, and it looks to be working a bit better for them now, Vermont.
Ross just thumps it out. Cosson was on the recipient at the other side. Ball comes out, though, for the Eagles. Robertson went in and won a hard ball, got off to Angelopoulos. Sneaky hand pass, only went as far as Johnson. Works it back now to Chris Barden, and they're out here, the Eagles on the outer side. Millhouse received it, got it over to Davidson, now to Schneider. Back to Millhouse. They've worked this out very, very nicely. Off half back. Millhouse, poor kick. Put Greg under a lot of pressure, and he's coughed it up. Smith picks it up for Noble Park. Up towards the true half-forward flank area. Nicely taken here by Tim Kelly. He needs to move it quickly. He feigned one, then kicked inside 50 to Allen. Couldn't quite take the mark. He might receive a free kick for a chopping in the arms or a high fend, and Shane Allen will go back from about 15 metres out, wrong side for a left footer, and look to put the Bulls' 6th goal on the board.
That's Noble Park at their best, the way they're able to rebound and send the ball straight back into their forward 50. That time then, Shane Allen able to work into space and draw the free kick. It's a really important kick in the context of the game. Vermont has started this second term really well. Noble Park need one back.
Allen from 50 metres out. It looks a little left off the boot, but it squeezes home. The wind took it at the last minute, and Shane Allen puts Noble Park's 6th goal on the board. 6-5-41 the Blues. Vermont, the Bulls, 7-3-45 Vermont. We've played 10 minutes here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in the second term. This is a ripper of a game, gentlemen.
Yeah, and you feel at the moment it's the ruck battle and who's going to get the clearances. That's where the goals coming from. You know, we say that all the time, but often it's not so much of a fast, free-flowing game. Players struggling to, get into space and take marks. Instead, if you get the clearance, you get the ball quick inside 50, that's where you're going to score goals, and that's where we've seen the last couple come from, Pete.
Premier League football at its best as the ball comes down. Henley got the kick out. It goes out towards the Alice direction, half forward line. The race is on now. Tim Kelly charges out there for Noble Park over his head. Howe's in there as well. He'll race it over the boundary line and out of bounds, half forward line for Noble Park.
Just around the grounds, Baldwin lead Roval 23-6. Lilydale lead Knox 35-20. Norwood lead East Burwood lead by 3 points. Scoresby lead East Ringwood, and Blackburn lead South Croydon by 16 points.
Well, Cleveland got the knockdown. It was an easy one too. Davidson, though, for Vermont, got the handball away. Schneider over the top. Little kick by Chadwick. It was a cute one. Up towards a half forward line now for Vermont. They've got players everywhere here, the Eagles. They just need to raffle it. The handball goes across there towards the direction of Barry Murphy. He goes backwards to go forward in the middle. It's picked up there nicely, though, by Tyson Mitchum. Balks one. Short passes on, and a good mark has been taken in the middle there. McConnell moves the ball quickly, drives the ball long. It's a smart kick too, because Shane Allen just used his body nicely at the back of the pack. He weighted the ball and he took the mark, and he'll have a shot from about 40 metres out from goal. You'd expect him to put this one through, Pete.
Yeah, great understanding between the two players, and Stewie Kemperman, the long 55-metre kick deep in their forward 50, knowing that Shane Allen was at the back of the pack. Allen able to work his opponent under the ball. That's Noble Park at their absolute supreme best from their back-to-back flags in 2010 and 11.
So he comes in from 40 metres out to regain the lead for Noble Park. It was an absolute shocker of a kick off the boot, and only a minor score is the result. They moved to 6-7-43 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Vermont to 7-3-45. We've crossed 13 minutes in this second term.
Just quickly in Division 2, Croydon lead Doncaster East by 8 points. Waverley Blues lead Bayswater by 11 points. North Ringwood by 17 over Mooroolbark, and Donvale by 13 over Mulgrave. Ball comes in here for the Eagles. They've got the numbers around the ball. Picked up by Davidson. Play on the outer side. High kick up towards the true half-forward position. Bobby Kemperman, with some authority, just fisted that ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. Almost a bit of a nervous spoil from the Bob man himself on that occasion. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 70 metres around from the Noble Park goal. From the Vermont goal, I should say. Umpire has pulled out a free kick. Going the way of the Bulls here. We'll go the way of Monaghan. Chadwick lays a great tackle. Paul Chadwick surely holding the ball. Not sure how. Back to Anderson. Tucked up in the pocket. Anderson swings back Andrew Flintoff style. but it's not quite squeezed in and through for a minor score. Noble Park move on to 6-8-44, Vermont 7-3-45, 16 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard here on EFL Game Day.
So Mullet plays it to himself, drives the ball out long. That was a good option too.
And Heathmont by 3, and Ringwood leads Doncaster by 25.
Well, it was a free kick out of the ruck and it went to Noble Park, but the mark has been paid or taken along centre wing position. So Millhouse, short passes on, that's okay. Finds a teammate in Bird. He ended up playing on Bird, put himself under a bit of pressure. It might end up back in the arms of Millhouse here. He's drifted back about 20 metres, so just below centre wing here for Vermont. Short passes on, that's good. McCarthy takes the mark. He goes out further wide to Barry Murphy. Last line of defence takes the mark, kicks it out wide, finds his teammate in Schneider. He wastes no time, goes to Taylor in the middle, the big man. He wants to get it onto Mullet. They've created the switch here nicely, Vermont, and they're away.
They certainly are. Andrew Ellis has got it on the outer side, chips it further afield towards the lead of Froud. Was dealt with after he took the mark. Umpire said no, 25. Bobby Kempman just infringing there. Froud's got 4 goals for the Eagles so far. Been outstanding. He's got it on true centre wing position now. He chips it further afield.
Noble Park back the lead, and they definitely need it. They've had chances and haven't taken them.
A contender for the EFL TV Play of the Week last week. Bo Cosson for his mark. Can he do it with a goal? It's going to fall short. Ball comes to ground. Eagles have the numbers. Schneider got it off to Daniel Mendes. Beautiful left foot kick to Nathan Henley right in front of us here in the broadcast position. Henley's got it at left half back. Looks to go along true centre wing position. Greg and Taylor will fly from behind. Taylor couldn't quite take the mark. He gave away a free kick there, did Simon Taylor. And the free kick will go the way of the Bulls. Stuart Cleve, he's opposing ruckman. He's got McConnell short. Even shorter is Howe. Thumped over the boundary line and out of bounds with some authority by the skipper of the Eagles, Ryan Mullet. And we'll see a boundary throw in, almost true centre wing position broadcast. So Kelly gets it in his defensive goal square and chips it out wide to his teammate in Jackatine, who goes further afield to Mitchum. He's in the left back pocket for the Bulls. Great game of EFL Division 1 footy out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval today. Make sure you do not adjust your radio dial. As they bring it inboard, Mitchum, he goes to Harper, off to the run of the skipper Anderson, inboard back to Kelly, feigned a hand pass, then did well to get it to Angelopoulos. They've worked this out okay. Have the
out of bounds. It's Barton who's got it for Vermont. So he might even nearly fancy himself. He's a veteran. He balks a player. This could be a super bit of play if he could put this through. Kicks it to the top of the square. It's the hot spot at the back of the pack. A mark has been taken. Super bit of play by Froud. He just knows where to be at the right time. He's a super player, Peter Baird.
He's having a red hot day today, but in that situation that he was actually surrounded by 3 or 4 Bulls, corralled by the Bulls there, not so to speak, but just able to keep his eye on the ball, stand tall in the marking contest.
5 goals in the first half is no mean feat as Ash Froud comes in and bangs it over the goal umpire's head. They have regained the lead, the Vermont Football Club. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they lead at 8 goals, 4-52. Noble Park 7-8-50. This is a crack game.
I can't believe we haven't been out to Division 1 yet this year, BWS. This is absolutely winning my appetite for more.
It's crossed down boundaries side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Billy Vickers.
Just on down on ground level, boys, it's a real feature of this game. It's just the defensive pressure on both teams. Maybe both teams paying for it a little in disposal efficiency, but the defensive and tackling pressure is amazing.
Will Taylor, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, the inside.
Ball comes out now to Allen. Kick towards goal is just off to the left-hand side.
What a letdown.
And goes through for a minor score. Noble Park 7-9-51. Vermont 8-5-53. 29 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
A great transition of play there from Noble Park, and unlucky not to score, but Vermont almost dropped off there. Didn't really seem to want to pursue the ball possessor at that time.
30 minutes gone in this second term as Millhouse drives the ball out towards the Bird direction. Taken there and might even end up being picked up by John's. Got the handball out. That was okay. Barry Murphy grubber to kick up towards the centre wing position. Noble Park might get another chance here. There's
Walls be chatting to one around the grounds. Anywhere, because we've got more coming up right after the break here on EFL Game Day.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a card tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
At Etihad Stadium. We're at the 10-minute mark of the third term at the moment, and GWS still hold a handy buffer. 8-6-54 leading the top of the table Bombers 5-9-39. So a 15-point margin there, and GWS well within their rights to cause an upset. And a major player in their lead thus far is Jeremy Cameron, their tall, intimidating focal point up forward. He's booted 5 for the Giants. Tom Scully has also figured in the goal-kicking department with 2. Adams is the leading possession getter on the ground, accumulating 17 disposals.
That's 939 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in station sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your...
Hunter Stephen, he isn't cooperating with SADA. Now, Clint Stanaway, the man who was supposed to be joining you today, but he's been all over this story, working flat out today, chasing the details of this story, which really does continue to bubble away. And other news, a man has been charged over the assault of a taxi driver in South Melbourne. 2 teens have been arrested over the bashing of 2 men in the Fitzroy Gardens. Police are still searching for another 2 men in relation to that attack. And airport baggage handlers in Italy have been arrested after being caught on camera raiding suits.
We've got Kilsyth up by 21 against Park Orchards. Surrey Park trailing by 29 to South Belgrave. We've got Nunawading trailing again to Sylvan by 26, and Eastern Lions leading by 2 goals against Ferntree Gully.
Beautiful, great work there. Doing a great job around the grounds. We'll get some more scores very shortly. We're about to chat to Brad Henderson on EFL Game Day. He's out at the North Ringwood and Muralbark clash. It's quite a low-scoring game. 5-8-38 North Ringwood leading Muralbark 1-8-14. So an inaccurate Muralbark on that.
Struggling to with some of their delivery, I guess, into their forward 50. Not really giving the forwards too many chances. But otherwise, around the ground, there's been plenty of highlights, and I'm watching a couple of fantastic midfields go head to head, and it's been a privilege to watch so far.
Well, why is it so low scoring, Brad? You're saying that the forwards are getting pretty ordinary delivery. I suppose that's a bit of the case, but is there wind playing havoc? Why is it so low scoring and so many behinds are being scored?
Yeah, I mean, it is the sort of scoreline which suggests that, it might have been a wet day or a bit muddy out here or a windy day, but none of those are really the case. In fact, it was lovely conditions to watch football in the first half, and I don't think it's affected. I guess they came undone in the end in the finals, and to me they just look a little bit slow, a bit top heavy still, and they just don't seem to have that run and carry that North Ringwood are able to create, and North Ringwood just look a little bit quicker and a bit slicker so far, but Muralbark not out of the game despite their inaccurate kicking so far.
Great work there, Brad Henderson. Look forward to hearing your Around the Grounds report at 5:10 tonight. Best of luck, and look forward to hearing from you later.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
There it is, Brad Henderson, Around the Grounds, North Ringwood and Muralbark. Well, umpires are back out on the ground. Wayne Duke, and Andrew Phillips leading the way for the umps today. And we will take a break here on EFL Game Day. This has been the Pie Shed halftime show. The Pie Shed's
7 Scoresby Road, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Damien Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. It's currently 15 degrees in the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of the Noble Park Vermont clash out at Pat Wright Senior Oval, and we'll return to the team in just a moment, but I've got a couple of number again, 1300 075 038. TMB Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
EFL TV is back and better than ever. Head to EFL.org.au every Thursday morning to check out the new episode of EFL TV and special guests. And the EFL Media Team always discuss all the big issues in the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Player of the Week.
good kick as well, finds Harper, wheels around and looks to keep the ball moving now, but he's held up by his Vermont opponent on the mark. Harper chips inboard, Interesting kick. Bounce has to be good for Dorr. Had clean hands as well and used it very well to get a handball off to Plym in a true centre wing position. He's caught up. Handballs it back in board. Stuart Kemperman now gets it off to Monaghan. Short chipping ball over the top. Made done do some work, but it was stolen by the Eagles in the end. Picked up by Johns. Gets a hand pass off and the kick goes towards Froud, who marks again. Wheels onto the right foot. Hand pass opens up Henley. This way than that way. He's got options. Left foot kick was smothered off the boot. Johns fumbles the ball now. Handballs in front of himself. Now looks to try and paddle it towards his advantage. He's got a lot of pressure from the Noble Park defence. Comes out towards Mitchum though. Noble Park will look to run it out through their skipper and Anderson. Kick is interesting. Monaghan went up against Schneider. Schneider did well to keep his feet on hands and knees. Gets it off to that man in Crow. He pounces on the football now, and we'll see a ball up 70 metres out from goal of Vermont's goal, Braden.
Going inside 50, Froud was 1 against 4. With a great kick, took the mark. He wheeled around, was probably out 50 out, 55 out, could have kicked the goal. Instead decided to go short to a contest when they weren't really going to kick a goal. And, he got to wheel around and take the opportunity instead of going short for a low percentage opportunity.
Anderson lays a thumping tackle on Schneider, and we'll see a ball up as a free kick, as Anderson, I think, gave him a little push in the head just after he'd laid that tackle. So not great from the skipper there. Schneider receives the free kick and kicks to Van Noonan, who's been very, very quiet to date. But he's got an opportunity from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle, and put the Eagles back in front. The Noble Park lead 8-9-57 to Vermont 8-5-53. 2.5 minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Van Noonan, he's booted 9 goals for the season. 5 last week from 55 metres out. Won't quite make the distance from the side. Wonderful mark from Henley. And the Chandler medalist for Vermont will go back and surely put the Eagles in front. This
just they have to and going to iffy options that really aren't on low percentage options. And again, Kemperman had a shocker and he's gone short and turned it over and resulted in a Vermont goal.
A lot of that's because Vermont aren't allowing Noble Park to switch the ball coming out of defence, which they love to do. We've seen how damaging they can be when they can free up guys like Stewie Kemperman, free across half-back to run into space and switch the ball the other side of the ground. Vermont aren't allowing them to do that, which forces them to go for the short option down the line. The Vermont players are aware of that and able to intercept those kicks and send it back deep into their forward line. So smart tactical play then from Chris Barlow.
Umpire Wayne Dye.
Once again, when Clevin took that mark deep in defence from Noble Park, his eyes automatically switched to this near side of the ground. No free options out there though, so forced to kick down the line. Once again, a turnover to Vermont.
Monaghan got a hand pass off to Harper inside 50. Door in position over, going back, judging it very nicely was Grant McCarthy, and the veteran will look to bring it away from half back for the Eagles.
So the ball's in the back pocket for Vermont. Short passes on. Just try and raffle it in this back line here. Mark's taken by Davidson. They're just slowing things down. The short option's on. That's okay. Schneider takes the mark. He might be able to take off here by Anderson. Goes after it. Put his body on the line.
The game, despite the run of play, and this is what we're seeing from Noble Park at the moment.
2 goals to Brett Dorr on the afternoon. He's booted 10 for the season. This to give the Bulls another lead for the day. He'll kick on the left foot, advances now and looks very nice off the boot, but just fades at the last minute through for a minor score. The Bulls go on to 9-10-64. Vermont 10-5-65. 9.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, it's crucial that Noble Park hold the lead at 3/4 time because there probably is about a 1-2 goal with the Moodamere end, which Vermont will be kicking to in the last quarter.
So it'll be Millhouse to bring the ball back in.
Vermont defence, kick off the ground by Monaghan towards the advantage of Matt Dunn. Johnson paddles the ball in front of himself in the back pocket. He's got McCarthy for support. Handballs it back to Bird, back to Johnson and back to McCarthy. Umpires pulled out a free kick and Johnson I think was dealt with after he was disposed of the football. He moves it on now to Chris Barden. Goes across his defensive goal square to Millhouse. He takes the mark uncontested. Further afield to Davidson, led very well, worked very hard today, Shane Davidson, a very, very good young player. He goes inboard. Ryan Wilson has got a paddock to work in here through the middle. Left foot kick isn't great, not a good kick at all. Here's a battle of the giants. Cleven got it towards Taylor, but now Plymouth picks it up towards full forward. Dorr thumped away from him. Vermont had the numbers at the back, but the boundary line beats all comers, and we'll see the ball thrown back in on the right forward pocket for the Bulls. They lead this. Well, they don't lead this one. It's 9-11-65 Noble Park. Vermont 10-5-65. Scores a level.
40 metres out from goal. Taylor got the knockdown. Noble Park through. Harper may have snagged this one overthrew for one behind. So quick score on the board there for Noble Park. Well, you wouldn't say they've stretched their lead. They've just gained the lead by 1 point here. 9-12-62. Vermont 10-5-65. Gone 12. He tried to find a teammate over the boundary line and out of bounds. Speaking of the boundary line, let's head down to the boundary line thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
A little bit of news down here, boys. Bob Kemperman's just come off. He's looking a bit stiff. He's getting some work done by the trainer now. Looks to be a lower back or high quad maybe, boys.
Thank you very much, Billy Vickers. Kemperman of the Stride. He got the clearing kick out of there for Noble Park up towards the centre square area. The umpire will come in and bounce this one.
He actually did look to be limping. I saw him come off the ground. I thought it was maybe just a bit of tightness, but yeah, he didn't look that great in the last contest with Froud. Now I think at the moment, just Jacatine's gone to him, so it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes.
Ball's been thrown up. Pack converges. The umpire will have another restart.
Clouds are starting to come across, gentlemen. Just FYI, the grey clouds. It's always fun.
The table maybe.
Second handball as well, and gave it to Mitchen's advantage. Anderson swings onto the right foot, up towards half forward. Taylor went up in the one-on-one contest. He's got Millhouse for support. Well done by Dorr on that occasion. Held the ball up and won a ball up, and that was a good result for the Noble Park side because there was 3 Vermont players onto 2 balls.
Looking to reduce the influence of Froud here. Trent Robinson's gone to Froud, and they've also got Dean Cleven sitting on him when the ball goes forward. So they're really trying to keep him out of the game. He was strong in the first half. They need to stop his influence.
Taylor was infringed on the ruck on that occasion. Will receive a free kick. He goes up towards half forward. Plymouth waits at the back. He's got a bit of time and space. Ball doesn't bounce accommodatingly for him. Now picks it up and just slams it on the boot up towards half forward. Taylor almost won the ball on that occasion. Got it down to Mendez and Millhouse off half back. Chips it up towards true centre wing position. Mark taken by Xavier Barry Murphy on the outer side for the Eagles. They trail this one by 1 point here on EFL Gameday. We'll bring you up to date with all the around the ground scores very shortly as Barry Murphy goes up towards half forward. Ross and Plymouth contest for it. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Speaking of that, let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, the trainers just came out to Justin Van Noonen and told him to push very deep. Told him.
Certainly, that's the goal they needed there because both sides, I just felt they maybe dropped a few numbers back to try and just contain each other. Pete, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. You can tell that Noble Park had almost said, right, now's the time when we're going to really put the foot on the pedal in the next 5-10 minutes here in this game. Their tackling rate really lifted, their intensity in the tackles lifted, and they're able to work through that goal there. Fantastic play to find space and weave through the traffic from Angelopoulos.
Won the game for the Bulls in the third quarter last week. Has he done it this time? Mendez picks it up though for Vermont, goes inside 50. Van Noonen overran it, and well done by Jacatine. Got a hand pass off to Robertson, and Kelly works in tandem nicely. He goes out wide to Harper, and he takes it at right half back. Noble Park's defence has been very organised coming out of their
Smith. He's been really moving and trying to put a bit of pressure on
Vermont. He's just come off the ground and he got a high five from MC Graham Marchant as he went along. Mullet drives the ball inside 450. Not too sure who to though. Froud probably was the target, but Jacatine was sitting in the hole uncontested. Good forward pressure there by Froud and Van Noonen. Robertson had to rush his handball. Long kick from Howell up towards true centre wing position. Contest forms. Ball comes to ground now for the Eagles. They need to make the most of this. Barden goes into the middle. Not the best kick, but made it work in the end of the Eagles. Johnson did well. Got a hand pass to Wilson. Off to the run of Chadwick. What can he do here, Paul Chadwick? From 55 metres out, Van Noonen will fly from behind, but Jacatine read the ball very nicely. Again, he's been outstanding down back, and he goes out wide to Cohen Howell, who'll look to rebound from his defensive 50.
That was a poor option there from Paul Chadwick. Just blazed away instead of lowering the eyes and trying to hit up a target. Caused the turnover once again.
Fast tempo football here as Noble Park move the ball up towards the wing position now. Georgie Angelopoulos is all by himself in the middle if they can spot him up. Stewie Kemperman's calling for it wide. Short passes on. It's okay. Mark's been taken there by Harper. He's been lively. He's done a bit today, Harper. I like the look of this guy. Kicks umpire work very hard for a 2. Second behind of the afternoon, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they've stretched the lead, but it's only 8 points now. Noble Park 10-13, 73. Vermont 10-5, 65 at the 25-minute mark.
Great game of Division 1 football we're seeing out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval today. The Bulls by 8 points, but Vermont aren't done with yet. Millhouse brings it in from the kick out. He goes short to Barry Murphy. He marks, I should say, in the left back pocket. Eagles need the next one, I think, just for a bit of momentum going in to three-quarter time. Dave.
Salisbury Road, Baronia. Call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh,
all the jumpers, and of course he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys.
Visit TMB U Superstore at Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or call 1300 075 038. That number again, 1300 075 038. TMB Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a card tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big
free kick count 9-4 in favour of Vermont, 23-17 overall in favour of the Eagles. The turnovers 19-12 in favour of Vermont, 59-41 overall in favour of the Eagles, and the tackle count 52-24 overall in favour of the Bulls. The Bulls had 15-6 in that third quarter.
Look at Billy. Thanks, Will Taylor. Look at Billy Vickers just not chatting up the trainer. Hopefully not. I'm pretty sure he's getting some word on Bobby Kemperman's injury. He could be. Great work there from Billy Vickers down there. We'll cross down to him very shortly to hear what Mick Fogarty had to say to his trips at three-quarter time. The huddle, the Vermont huddle, is still going. It looks like it's just breaking now, so we'll cross down to Riley Beveridge very, very shortly. Some more scores just coming in from around grounds. Sylvan have got the upper hand against Nunawading in Division 4, 13-14.
Towards a half-forward line. That was a good one too, taken by Shane Allen. The umpire didn't pay it. He got the handball away towards the Mitcham direction. There's a free kick to Noble Park just inside forward 50 here, and it'll go to Scalzo, I think. No, it'll even go further back. So it'll be taken by Shane Allen. Short pass inside forward 50. It was a bit of a scrambly kick. It could go out towards Scalzo now. He can find Anderson. He has time to size up a kick. His kick was smothered. That was beautiful play that time there by Vermont backs to get the ball out. The little scrambly kick there by Johns off the ground went to absolutely no one. Now inside 50, the Bulls go again towards the door direction. Alice might mop up onto this. He had the fall of the ball. He got gang tackled in the end and he didn't dispose of it correctly. And it'll be a free kick to Schneider. Or in fact, it'll be Robbie Ross in the back pocket now for Vermont.
Excellent today. Plymouth goes in short and finds Cohen Howe, who's been part of that defence. Goes back to Jared Plymouth. He rebounds off half-back. The kick towards true centre wing position. Doesn't bounce well for Scalzo, but Scalzo tackles Millhouse over the boundary line and out of bounds. Speaking of the boundary, here's Billy Vickers, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
I'll just give you a quick rundown of the three-quarter time huddle from the Noble Park Football Club. Mick Fogarty, very animated. Emphasis, no surprise, on the mids to win those one-on-one battles and take initiative. As you said, I just did have a little chat with the Noble Park trainer. Both Kemperman boys. One's got a hammy injury. That's Bob. He's suffering from hamstring tightness. The other one's had a big knock.
Thanks very much, Billy Vickers, doing a great work on the boundary. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care today. Kelly's kick to Plymouth in that right back pocket. He marks now. He'll look to move it on, but he's got a lot of purple jumpers in front of him, I should say. He went striking Taylor. It's a pretty easy target to hit as well. Froud gets a little hand pass in front of him. Kelly tries to keep it in, but the boundary umpire says no.
Goes. The tall players don't get any shorter and just too big there in the marking contest with Simon Taylor. Important kick though, because the first goal in this last quarter is going to be crucial to which team can get the ascendancy. Noble Park currently lead by 8 points. Simon Taylor has the opportunity to reduce that back to less than a kick now.
He's already kicked one goal for the afternoon. He copped one on the back of the head when he kicked that took that mark as well. Now he bangs it from 50 metres out. It's a strong kick too, but it went right the whole way over for one behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 6-minute mark in this final term. It is Noble Park leading at 10-13-73. Vermont at 10-6-66.
This one's going down to the wall.
Move to the middle of the ground, which is the direction he goes to. What a super kick that was. It was intended for Taylor. Noble Park will have the options here. Dorr, he was the recipient, just couldn't quite trap it. Wrapped up by Taylor. Barden was over his case as well, and we'll have a bounce. Just inside the centre square. It's the half forward line here for Noble Park. Mullet once again goes up. That's his second tap down for the day, Wilbo. Straight down into the arms of Tim Kelly. He balked one tackle. Got a little handball over the top. That was okay. Cleveland got the handball out. Stewie Kemmerman on the left boot. Inside forward 50 towards the Alice direction over the top. Millhouse. He nearly got a grab on it. They'll get out of this. Johns on the left boot. That was good to Mullet. Now Mullet's been quiet today. He needs to lift in this last quarter. Goes to a man who hasn't been quiet in Nathan Henley. Inside 450 to Greg. That's the system they...
He's probably lifted his game in the last 5 minutes. Probably had 3 or 4 touches. So those leaders at their club really starting to rise to the challenge here.
Luke Dorr, important kick. This to extend the margin from 45. Oh, that's a helicopter and a half off the boot. It'll land short and straight into the arms of Nathan Henley, who has been outstanding in this second half. He's in his defensive goal square now. He's called to play on. Pressure from behind from Bo Cosson.
Who's that to?
Goes over the head of a number of Vermont players, and Stuart Kepman wraps up at the back. On the right foot, he brings it in more to Kelly. Oh, that's dangerous, a kick and a half. Or you don't want to give it to Ryan Mullet with a paddock of space. He takes a bounce. He loves this situation, Ryan Mullet. He looks to size up. Unselfishly gives over the top to Ashford. Into the open goal for goal number 6. And the Eagles aren't done with yet. Vermont go on to 11-7-73. Noble Park 11-14-80. And Ashford has kicked his 6th goal. Game on at the Pat Wright Senior Oval.
Smart play then from Ryan Mullet, though. Could have blazed away from 50 metres. The ball for the extra couple of steps, which was enough to put Ashford right.
I am right.
Boys, that was just ridiculous. It is a 5-point lead.
Redonkulous.
Yeah, redonkulous.
Oh, wow.
That was just sensational.
Took the heat off me.
Instead of going short like his dinky little kicks, he just said, "Nah, I'm going home, boys," and slotted his 7th. He has been super, Ash Froud.
When the Eagles have wanted someone to stand up, Froud's been the man, but Noble Park might have another say here as Smith gets the clearance. Johnson beats Angelopoulos to the ball. Clever little kick in front of himself. Well done by that time by Tim Johnson. Paddles it further afield. He gains an extra 50 metres and gains touch in the end. Great play from Tim Johnson.
Kelly got the handball away. Drive the ball forward. Dawes the biggest man here. He needs to fly. The ball hits the deck. House has got to be there up there to mop up things. Bird's in there as well. So too is Georgie Angelopoulos, making sure that the ball stays in there. But he may have given away a free kick, and he's not too happy about it either, Georgie. It looked a little bit stiff. Millhouse gives it away to Mullen. He wastes no time. Drives the ball out towards the Ross direction. The big man's got to fly and take the mark. He went after it a second time. Who charged that arc about 45 metres out from goal. So Noble Park, they need a goal. They need a player like Shane Allen to kick this, Pete.
Oh, it's a kick for Noble Park.
He plays on. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is what he loves. He surges towards goal. It might have the legs. It's touched on the last line of defence and rushed through for a minor score. That was the goal that they were after, Noble Park, on the
Noble Park players and the Noble Park fans here.
Margin back to 4 points. Noble Park 11-15-81. Vermont 13-7-85. Angelopoulos has 3.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. Cleveland was in there. So too was Giacchettini. Gets up. Monahan got the handball away. It was Schneider. In fact, he got a free kick for in the back. It might go downfield, or it might even go back to Schneider. No, it did end up going downfield, so only a couple of metres, but nonetheless, Taylor takes the kick, inside forward 50, kicks it to the hot spot. That's the place to go. Henley comes in from the side. There might be a free kick paid here.
This will test the hamstring. Shane Allen will receive the ball. No, he went over it. He's probably done it right there and then. Dorr picks it up now, this way than that way. The big man goes high towards the left foot kick. Who's going to be there? Done. Thumped beautifully over the boundary, over the goal line, I should say, by Travis Bird. And that goes through for a minor score. Noble Park 11-16-82. Vermont 14-7-91. 21 and a half minutes gone here on the Bendigo scoreboard.
Still plenty of time for Noble Park here. And 5 goals in this term. We've only played 22 minutes. You think they've got plenty of time. They just need to be smart, and you think now it's time to throw it into the corridor and just go all out.
A quick clearance. They need a goal. We've gone 23 and a half minutes here. The umpire bounced it. Everybody let it go, and we'll have another bounce as we cross down boundary side to Billy Vickers, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, just a bit of a corked thigh there for TJ Tom Johnson. So he's come off the ground, not too many worries though.
Thank you very much to Riley Beveridge as the umpire bounces it up now. Still a hot football. All players contesting. Kick inside by Great game we're seeing out here today. Division 1 football at its best. It's the first Division 1 game we've covered on EFL Gameday, and what a ripper it has been. Taylor got the knockdown. They might be able to steal something here. Quick kick up forward there by Monaghan to the top of the goal square. Bouncing ball knocked over nicely there by Travis Bird. Minor score is the result. 8 points is the difference here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It is Noble Park 11-17-83 trailing Vermont 14-7-91.
The Eagles' unheralded backline has been outstanding today. As it goes long, Mendes
run out the game and play a full 4 quarters, which they probably haven't done in their first 3 games. And I think we saw that today. It was certainly, there were momentum shifts, but there was never a time where Vermont stopped running or, dropped out of the game. And it was a really tough contest. But as you said, Vermont's legs in just a couple of players to me. Obviously, Froud was sensational, especially in the first half. Only 2 in the second half was good. Kicked goals at important times, but I think he was well held in the second half.
They'll be all right.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Chris Barlow.
Hey, we might be able to get into the rooms here for the Vermont theme song. Just give us a second.
Okay, so the boys are getting around it. They don't have an interview yet, but we want to hear this song. It's a good one. We've heard it many times before. Presented all day, Mendes and Chadwick. Major goal kickers for Park. 3 goals to Georgie Angelopoulos for the afternoon. He presented well across half forward line. 2 each to Dorr and Cody, and also Matty Dunn with the singles to Shane Allen and Craig Anderson. A good even spread there, Peter Baird, but Vermont superior in the end.
Oh, they were, and probably Ash Froud was probably the difference. Those 5 first half goals, really important in the way he was able to get them. He didn't necessarily put himself in great space, but able to conjure goals out of almost impossible situations. Keep on the boundary line, keeping his feet in contest, just a bit of mercurial ball skills, and that was really important in that first half.
Used the boundary a lot. Instead of going through the corridor, they seem to work their way around. Is that something that was forced by Noble Park's defence today, or is that a game plan where that's what they want to use?
Oh, Noble Park are very good at owning the corridor out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval, so I think that's through the way that Noble Park forced them to play, and they like to push Vermont out wide, and Vermont are so good down in space that they didn't mind running the ball down the wings.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care, Riley Beveridge.
Yeah, I'm here with Ash Froud. Ash, just 7 goals, too easy.
Yeah, it's nice to get a few, but great win by the boys. We obviously needed it, being 2-1, so it puts us back 2-2 and sets up the year, hopefully.
Ourselves, Pete. The ability of Vermont over the last couple of weeks to actually run out great games has been super. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 in this last quarter here. Last week they came from behind to win a big game as well. So the fitness might be an early edge for them at this stage, you would say.
Yeah, but if you look at the first couple of games of the year, they'll run over the top of him late in the game as well. Roble got the better of him in the last quarter in that early game. So I know fitness was something that Chris Barlow really worked on late in their pre-season. He thought they were probably 2 or 3 weeks behind some sides.
Chris Barlow down here.
But yeah, it's probably something KB's really worked hard on over the last few weeks to try and get the fitness levels right up on this Vermont side.
Probably not, but a win's a win. Away from home today, we won at home last week. I think we controlled the game for the most part, even though I suppose scoring shots doesn't reflect that. Yeah, more than happy to come to Noble Park, a great ground and great facility, and have the win.
I'm just going to throw you up to the boys upstairs, Chris. I'm sure they're eager to have a word as well.
Chris is Ben Warren Smith, mate. Congratulations on the win. What a super game. I really love the effort today, and how could you not, of Ashley Froud, a player who's returned to the club. He's a star of the Vermont Football Club. 7 goals today, and when the focus...
He's a player that runs mid-15s to 16s in the beep, so he's athletically excellent. So I thought that we got good run. He doesn't tail in late in games, doesn't get tired, so and he's also an option that we can actually throw as a defensive midfielder as well. But you're right, he was sensational on a class act. Shane Allen that can win the game off his own boot.
Chris Braden here, mate. Great win today. I just wanted to ask you. You probably played 4 quarters for the first time this season, but at the same time, there's probably still a lot of things you can work on in terms of maybe delivery and going forward as well. That's got to give you a lot of confidence in the next few weeks.
Oh, look, for sure, and it does, and that's exactly what I said to the boys. I pointed out that we played 3 good sides in the previous 3 weeks. We've won 2 of them, so it's a really, really good on the ledger. We're 2-2. Got the back in check. But we've won the last 2 weeks, and I really have analysed the games, and we just make a lot of mistakes. And you identified one of them there. We all saw it. I saw it. It was killing us. When you got quick forwards and you can't control the entries in there, you're going to be up against it. But that's something that we'll switch it in through the corridor in the last quarter. That turnover goal, but I thought, you're right. And you know what? I thought that in the third quarter it was the opposite. I thought that the Noble Park old heads started cracking in and got a bit of momentum, and I thought that that they sort of really, like I said, cracked in and made a difference. And I asked the guys at 3/4 time. I said that we need to match those blokes in that area.
Well, Chris, it's been a fantastic game for us to watch up here. Good luck in the game against Blackburn next week. The club currently sits 2-2 and are on a pretty good path over the last fortnight anyway. We've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope
able to get him into votes. 2 votes today for mine. Nathan Henley is probably the midfielder that played the 4 quarters for Vermont. He didn't fade in and out of the game as perhaps as much of a Ryan Mullett or a Tom Schneider, but his ball use was fantastic. He was able to create space and run and carry. But 3 votes today for mine. 7 goals, Ash Froud. I thought he was the difference between the two sides and gets my 3 votes.
Yeah, it's very